Welcome to Hello New Earth. Here we'll talk about the Ascension Process, manifestation principles, and you will receive amazing activations from several beings of love and light to help you create the new Earth. Let's do this together. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hello New Earth, and welcome to episode 4. In this episode, we're going to cover some very interesting topics, and I hope that you stay with me, and I'm really curious to see how you're going to feel after receiving these messages and information that I'm going to share. So, who are then starseeds or volunteers that came to help in the ascension process? Why did they come to Earth? Are you or your child a starseed? And I'm also going to be talking about the Indigo Revolution and how you can help your child if you identify your child as a starseed, especially an Indigo Starseed. So there's so much information here to share today, and the first thing that I'd like to share with you is that every information here corresponds to what I resonate, corresponds to with information that I resonate with, to my truth, and this doesn't necessarily correspond to your truth. So just take, as I say, just take what resonates and leave the rest. All right. So there's so much information out there that talks about starseeds and the ascension process, and it is important that you feel within your heart what is true for you, and that you follow mentors, you follow people that really you resonate with and that you feel that is right for you. Why? Because we are sovereign beings and we are here to create our own reality, and whatever we believe, this is what we're going to be creating. So, and in this podcast, I mainly speak about creating the new Earth, stepping into the fifth dimension, connecting to the fifth dimension, which is based on frequencies of unconditional love, of faith, of compassion, of freedom. So, and true and unity consciousness. So we're heading towards unity with source, with all things. So it's very important that you just follow what resonates with you. All right. So I'm going to be speaking about information from two authors. The first one is Dolores Cannon. Dolores Cannon, she was a regressive hypnotherapist and psychic researcher born in 1931 in the US. So she worked mainly on past life therapy and regression work, and she has developed her own hypnosis method, quantum healing hypnosis technique, and wrote around 15 books. Dolores, she has left a legacy to us with her work and her teachings. It is amazing what she has taught, but she left us in 2014 at age 83. So I will be speaking about the 3 waves of volunteers in the new Earth, about the 3 waves of volunteers from the book The 3 Waves of Volunteers in the New Earth, which was published in 2011. So I can leave the link here or the name of the book if you're interested in reading this amazing book. I just started reading it and I felt I had to go there and read those messages and receive those codes, because I was also looking for answers. We're always looking for answers and we're always learning new things. So we'll always be students. So, and that's why I'm here. I'm here creating this podcast so we can learn together. because every single day we'll be learning new things. And the more I do my research and go into those books, the more I can share, the more I can learn for myself, and I can help you also learn new things and understand the moment we're going through right now, understand the ascension process that every single soul is going through on the planet. Right. So what I believe around starseeds, Andrea, what are starseeds? What are those volunteers? I truly believe, firstly, I truly believe that every single soul, every single person here on planet Earth, they come from other planets. So they were just not born. Really, their souls don't come from Earth. For me, Earth is a school, is like a training ground. So for expansion of souls. So we're very brave souls. And we all came from different star systems. But there are, and we have all different missions, different purposes here on the planet. And I do believe that every single person that is here also wanted to experience the shift from duality into unity consciousness, the shift from scarcity, separation, limitation to fully abundance and prosperity and unlimited manifestation, in which is what we're going to be experiencing in the fifth dimension. However, there are some souls that decided to come to the planet to help humanity further expand. Let's say that all the souls came here to play on the matrix, to play on this virtual artificial platform of limitation, scarcity, and separation. So they wanted to experience contrast to different situations. But at some point, planet Earth got stuck. Those souls got stuck in this karmic wheel. So they kept reincarnating and not learning further lessons. They were not expanding. They were just trapped in those frequencies of especially fear and separation from source, and not being able to remember who they were. And they were not able actually to remember how to shift into a higher consciousness, to remember who they truly were. So this is what I believe for all of the souls that are here on the planet right now. And starseeds or volunteers, those are other types of souls that came specially to help the souls that were incarnated on the planet. And they came from, I'm going to say, I would say that they would have a much higher frequency, and they decided to incarnate on a planet and learn a little bit about density, about living contrast. So that's why they also had lots of past lives on planet Earth. I myself, I had 30 past lives, but my main system that I spent most of my lives was Arcturus. So I spent, I think, 130 lifetimes there. So, but I don't come from there. I come from Andromeda. So the Andromeda galaxy, not the constellation, but the galaxy. So, and I do believe that those starseeds, they heard the call from the souls that were trapped here in so many cycles of incarnation, and they couldn't expand, they couldn't evolve. So they decided to incarnate to help change the consciousness of the planet, and also to help in the ascension process, so those souls could really start remembering who they truly were, releasing their fear, releasing the frequencies of scarcity, of limitation, of separation from source. So the call, those souls that were here on planet Earth, they sent a signal, let's say, and lots of starseeds and those other also beings will all come from source. This is very important. We're all one, we're all the same. So, but there are different types of consciousness, levels of consciousness from the souls. So those starseeds, they heard the call and they decided to really work actively and help the souls that were here on the planet. So let's talk about those waves. And as I said, this information comes from the book from Dolores Cannon, and I'm also going to give you my own opinion. All right, so see what feels true for you. Right, so the first wave of these souls, they came in the 50s. So this is what, at least what I understood from the book. And this happened especially after the dropping of the bomb in Hiroshima at the end of the 1940s. So, and the first wave of the souls, they were the ones that had the most difficult time adjusting here on the density, on the environment, the duality environment of planet Earth. Why? Because they didn't like the violence and ugliness they found in the world, and most of them, they wanted to return home. I believe, well, I am pretty sure I know lots of them. So, and at least one in my family that that actually belong to this first wave, and they actually felt they never belonged to the planet, and everything that was associated with violence, with low vibrational frequencies and emotions, it was really very, very hard for them. And what I feel, what I always felt actually when in touch with these souls, there one is, for example, one is my aunt, is that they didn't want to be here anymore, and so they just want to return home. So it's very, very interesting because these souls, they really start, I'm going to say, showing symptoms of amnesia. So they just want to forget being here. They just want to forget about the ugliness and about the contrast that happens on planet Earth. Those are very, very pure souls. So these souls, they didn't have many lifetimes on planet Earth, or maybe they had very few, and they're very traumatized. And I believe those were the ones, those starseeds and volunteers, those were the ones who experienced the most difficult time adjusting to the planet, and lots of them they were actually not able to fulfill their mission here on the planet. So I would say here now we are in 2023, so those souls now would be like in the 70s, I would say beginning of 70s, middle of their 60s. Right? So for me, I'm 51, so it'll be like my aunt, and it would be like aunt or my mom's age, I would say. So because I was born in 1972. Right, let's talk now a little bit about the second wave. Well, I do believe I belong to the second wave. And I would say these volunteers or starseeds, they came in the 70s. It could be also a little bit earlier. And for them, it was a little bit easier to come. And they generally focus on helping others, creating no karma. And normally going unnoticed. And I can speak about myself because I'm a person that came and didn't want it to be, I never liked to be the center of the attention of anything, but I always wanted to help others. So these starseeds or volunteers here in the book says that they have been described as antennas, beacons, generators, channels of energy, and they have come in with a unique energy that greatly affects others. They don't have to do anything, they just have to be. And wherever they go, they will affect the energy of the place. It's very, very interesting because they don't know, of course, consciously how they can affect the energy of places and people around them, but they do. So they just have to do. And here I would like to share my own experience because since I was a very, very young child, I always wanted to travel. I wanted to go everywhere. And my mom used to say that I was a gypsy. The gypsies live everywhere. They love to travel, right? So my mom used to say I was a gypsy, and I always wanted to leave home, and I was never afraid of traveling. So, and this was always has happened since very, very young age. And of course, it became true to travel everywhere, because I was 27, I finished university, and I traveled to the US as an au pair. Then I went to London and to keep studying English. Then I went to Germany, then I went to Spain, and now I live in Portugal. So I had to be in so many places, and I didn't even know why. But my soul was guiding me to spread light. So, and this is so interesting, because everywhere I went, people would say I was the sun. And the sun, here comes the sun. I'll never forget that. When I was working in clinical research in Germany, the first office, and it was a contract research organization, and I remember one of the colleagues there saying, "Yay, Andrea is coming! Here comes the sun." So now I understand that that I'm really a starseed of the second generator, and it's just like being a crystal that generates healing frequencies and also activations to others, and just helps raise the vibration of the environment. And also and for me, it is so strong. I vibrate, my soul vibration is so strong. It's 5.9. The highest that you can have is 6, but at 6 you probably are disincarnating. You're not here anymore. You're shifting to the 5th. So I have to be very careful. So everyone that gets in touch with me will start releasing energies. Even to speak to me, they will start releasing energies, and they will also start activating their DNA. So it's very, very strong, my soul vibration. And something very, very interesting is that most starseeds from the second wave, even though they are like a power crystal, and they generate so much energy wherever they go, is that they don't like to be mixed with other people. So, and they prefer to stay at home and alone, just like me. I work from home. So of course I like to go to travel. I travel a lot and get to go to different places and work from there, but I like to be alone, and even working from my home. So, but we have to be aware that we can just I'm going to say, we cannot just be completely isolated, because then we're not going to be fulfilling our soul mission. This is very, very important, right? So especially if you are a volunteer starseed of the second wave, it's very important that you get yourself out there, because this is your soul mission. You're a generator, you're a channel of energy, and you're here for a mission. So very, very important mission. So another thing that was very, very interesting is that many of the first and second wave, they don't want to have children. And this, and again, I just had an aha moment right now, because there's someone in my family that's an aunt. She also never wanted to have children. She did have, but she didn't want to have, and she belongs to the first wave, and me too. So I unconsciously didn't want to have children. I tried. I'm going to say I tried to have children, but unconsciously I never had that need to have, or that really deep desire to have children, and I didn't know why. And I also didn't know why I never got pregnant, because I've tried. Believe me, I've tried several times, and everything on my reproductive system, my hormones, they were perfect. I don't have any disease, any condition with hormones, with my uterus, with my ovaries, and after reading the book from Dolores, when she says here, many of the first and second wave do not want to have children. Why? Because they unconsciously realize that children create karma. They don't want to have anything tie them here. They just want to do their job and get out of here. Oh my God, that's amazing what she's saying here. Many of them do not marry unless they are lucky enough to find another of their own kind. So just like free spirits, they just want to they came to do their job, to help in the ascension process, and move on and go. So, and I see myself, and I see also this, and that I see exactly how she behaved in me, and now I fully understand why. And you, if you're listening to this right now, you might also be having some aha moments in this moment. So, so here, if you are, there's some tips here, suggestions from Dolores in her book. If you feel you are part of the first or the second wave of volunteers here to the planet, I think, so this is what Dolores was saying. I think it is important for the first and second wave of volunteers to understand that their own fears and the feeling of not wanting to be here on Earth can create powerful blocks to hold back their advancement. This is very, very important. Many say they just don't want to be here. It is too difficult and they just want to leave. This is not my kids anymore. So I actually never wanted to leave. I do believe this is more something for the first wave, because the second wave, they have a much easier, much happier life, I would say, as I've had so far. So here, if you truly want to return home, then you better begin to understand and work with these feelings, because otherwise you'll be stuck here and will not fulfill your contract. Right? This is very, very important, to work with your emotions, to start releasing those trapped emotions. I do work with several starseeds and of the third generation and beyond, and lots of them, they're shocked coming to the planet. And it's very, very important to release those emotions using any type of energy healing method, the emotion code, the body code, just using the intuition, tapping into the field of your child and trying to feel in your body what are the emotions that my child are feeling right now. Can I release them? I do encourage every single person that is listening to this right now to learn the emotion code of Dr. Bradley Nelson, because he is one of my mentors, and I am where I am right now because of the emotion code. And there is the book, The Emotion Code of Dr. Bradley Nelson, in which you're going to learn how to tap into your own feelings, emotions using muscle testing and releasing trapped emotions that block your advancement, that block you actually from being who you truly are and accomplishing your goals, manifesting beautiful things. Really releasing trapped emotions. It's a daily practice that I do. I don't use only my psychic gifts. I also just go there, use muscle testing. Okay, what are the trapped emotions? Today, they're my heart wall, around my heart. They're blocking me from feeling my desires. I go there and release them. So every single person should definitely know how to identify their own trapped emotions. They're blocking their expansion, advancement, and also to release them. And of course, you can always work with a practitioner. Right, and so for those that are on the first and maybe the second wave that have really difficulty being here, wanting to be here on planet Earth, you have to work on your emotions. You have to work on these energies. All right. So this is my suggestion from me to you, and it comes really from my heart. Let's talk now about the third wave. The third wave are the new children. So, and right now they are on their 30s, I would say, not on the 50s like me. They're on the 30s or end of their 30s. And there is, of course, the further generations, the ones that are 7, 8, 9 now. So there are several other starseeds that came after. But those are very special children, right? So they have come with all the knowledge needed on an unconscious level. They are ready for the new Earth. The thing is, they need to activate those codes. And so, and as you know, the DNA of every single person on Earth is being changed at the present time, and it is being changed and transmuted in order to adjust to the new vibrations and frequencies. So, but the DNA of these new children, and you might be the parent of one of them, so has already been altered, has already been changed. They have the codes for the new Earth. And they are ready really to create the new Earth. But the thing is, these children, they are different. They're very sensitive. They come with symptoms that many of us call autism or attention deficit. So there's several dyslexia. There's several symptoms that they brought into this lifetime. But, and in schools, they just don't understand their gifts. They're usually psychic. They're extremely intelligent, all right? And they're like crystals. They're very sensitive, very, very sensitive. Here is the need to work on their auric fields. But this is a topic for another episode. Here, so there's the first thing, there's nothing wrong with these children. If you have a child that is extremely sensitive, extremely very, very intelligent, is not interested in school, traditional school, and has a difficult time adjusting to colleagues, to friends, to other students, doesn't want to hang out with other students, it has difficulty connecting, it's just because it has a higher level of consciousness. And it's very really what I'm going to be talking with them, right? Because they have different codes activated in their DNA, and they have really a very, very special mission. And and it's very interesting because these children, they get very bored at school, to the point that they just don't want to go to school. They start getting sick all of a sudden, and they just fall sick because what I'm going to learn there. So they feel it's not for them. So what is very, very important here is that they need challenges to keep them interested. They need mental stimulation. You have to, I'm going to give you some tips in the end, but it's very important to find what is it that your child loves to do and give them more stimulation, and give things to your child that the child is inspired naturally. You can't force a child to keep going to a school. And if you feel your child is a starseed, and I've been working with lots of starseeds. I'm working right now with lots of children. There are starseeds. And you have to find ways of stimulate your child and give the proper environment so it can expand, it can fulfill his or her soul mission. All right. So this group have been called the hope of the world. And here I'm going to be talking then a little bit here about the indigo. So there are lots of types of star seeds, and I'm going to say I am a crystal, mainly crystal, but also a little bit indigo. There is the indigo starseeds, so, and only the crystal starseeds, but there's also magenta ray, there's the blue ray, there's several starseeds or volunteers. They have they just activated different frequencies on their DNA. And here the information that I'm going to be sharing with you comes from the book from Magenta Pixie, the Diamond Codex, and the Quartz Key, Accessing the Accelerated Stargate System through Crystalline Transformation of the Genetic Code. This is a very, very complex book for advanced starseeds. So don't even try to read it if you're not ready. So you're not going to even be attracted by the book because it's very, very complex. And I'm trying to, even myself, to understand, and lots of things I don't. It's because it's really very difficult. It comes from the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, which comes from Arcturian consciousness. Since I spend most of my lifetimes in Arcturus, and the Arcturians are my main guides. So I was guided, I was attracted by the book because there are messages for me there, but still it's very, very difficult for me to understand lots and lots of things. But I'm going to be giving the name if you feel you're ready for the book. If you're not, you're not going to even open the book, believe me. So, all right. But here, let's talk about the indigo. So it's very interesting because I've been working with at least two, or worked with two indigo starseeds, and they have like indigo frequencies or codes. So what they're here, so they came here, these indigo starseeds, to help raise the frequency of Earth and to bring the energies of their own home planet and to anchor the 5th dimensional frequencies into Gaia. Gaia is the 5th dimension planet we're moving to. Earth is the 3rd dimension planet. We are in the transition in the 4th to the 5th, but Earth is our old home, and Gaia is the 5th dimension. So these indigo starseeds, they are here to stand strong against power and control. And they are going to help humanity to move from victim mentality into the sovereignty of source consciousness. And as I said before, the indigo individuals, they carry like a very unique indigo frequency, and which is called Indigo Codex. And what are their personality traits? They present determination, strength, and a sense of knowing they are right, certain, assured, confident. So they cannot abide falsehoods, lies, cruelty, and distortion. And they absolutely rebel against any kind of control. They are system busters, if you will, literally. So these are the words of my of the collective of 9. It is so difficult to say this name. So here, the collective consciousness of 9. I'm not gonna say it full, but they what is the mission of maybe your child, or maybe it's your mission, depending on your age. So they're here to expose the inconsistencies and incongruencies within the system upon this planet, and ultimately bring it down and championing the cause of the creation of a new system. So they're here to create a new Earth, but going against the system, really rebelling against the system. Really, they are the ones that really speak their voice. Yeah, they're the rebels. So I'm not like that. I'm the quiet one. I work like in different ways. So I'm a crystal, mainly crystal starseed. But the indigo, they're not afraid of speaking the truth and going against the system. the false matrix, inorganic, artificial matrix that we play on here on planet on the 3rd dimension. So they are kind, they are loving, caring healers, teachers, and they they might come from several planetary systems. So I've worked with one coming from Andromeda, just like me. The other comes from Lara. So the other one from Pleiades. So it's really beautiful. But a little bit about more than they stand as power systems for living crystal generators. So, and they hold grid structures within their planet or home world. So they are living crystal generators, just like the crystal starseeds, with their physical earthly incarnations, because their DNA fields are able to radiate. So this is huge. This is really huge. So the living crystal generators are also powered by the crystal individuals. So just like me, but I hold a different frequency. So the indigo and crystal aspects work together, and they are expressed through human starseeds as a frequency pattern. So your child may be fully, as I said, indigo, partly indigo and crystal, or fully crystal. But as I said, there are also other frequency patterns within humanity, such as blue ray and magenta rose ray. So, but the majority of star seeds are indigo, crystal, or merge between the two. All right. So here, within an unbalanced, so if you have a child that has been having problems at school, with you at home, it's extremely sensitive, all of a sudden gets very angry. So if you have an unbalanced or unactivated indigo child, or maybe it's yourself, the personality codes can manifest as anger, hostility, hatred, especially hatred of control systems such as schools, institutions, and governing bodies, and also ego-centered thinking. All right? Within the balanced activated indigo, these codes will manifest as strength, confidence, knowing, and the ability to challenge and change corrupt institutions and systems without anger. Without anger, this is very, very important. We don't need anger to change institutions in the government. They have leadership qualities and good boundaries. So, who are the indigos? They are warriors. They are warriors. And they are incarnated upon our planet in droves at this time. Yeah, yes. So that's why we're having right now the Indigo Revolution. And I'm sure this is something that is probably not new to you if you're listening to my podcast. So before then we finish, let me go up here because I wrote down some things. If you have a child that you think it could be a starseed, an indigo, especially an indigo starseed, it's very, very important that you help them feel grounded, to help them feel at home. It is important that they start enjoying being here on planet Earth, and that they don't have thoughts, I don't want to be here, or I don't feel I belong, I hate this planet, I hate my school friends, or no one understands me. So it's very, very important that you start helping them using several types of tools, just like energy healing, light language, speaking to someone that actually to a therapist that is knowledgeable around that, to explain them with the right words. So this is a project that I'd like to start with a colleague and friend, with two friends and colleagues. We might create a book to speak about light language and the Ascension Process for children. So yeah, because we have to start doing this. This is the new earth. We have to start teaching that, right? So we have to start teaching children about who they are and how they can create the new earth. So it's very important that they acknowledge that they have a body, they need to be in the body, and also give them activities to stimulate their senses, because they will probably have lots of psychic gifts. They're fully activated. So and stimulation here of their brain, since they're very, very intelligent. You cannot just send them to a normal school, forget it. They're gonna be very bored. They're gonna do everything to stay at home. And they can become very, very angry and depressed, right? So you have to help them ground their energy on a daily basis, connect to Mother Earth's energy, to the higher realms, and express their feelings, express drawing, speaking, dancing, singing. Maybe introduce them to crystals and light language. Allow them to spend time in nature. It's very important that they spend time in nature. There are lots of things. This is something that is growing within me now to help children, starseeds, here on the planet, to help the parents, because the parents, they have no idea sometimes who are their children. And this is a big project that I could develop with my colleagues, with Marta, and maybe with another one. So this is something that is being birthed, and I do believe that we could do a beautiful work here, even doing some workshop or just doing some webinars and getting all the parents here. So and also creating some activations so they could activate light language activations for the children to balance their auric fields, their chakras, because they need balance. They need balance. They need to learn how to deal with their own energy. All right, so this was then the episode 4, and I hope that you enjoyed. Oh my god, 40 minutes, this is so long. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please send me your comments. I would love to, if you're listening this on YouTube, send a comment here, or if you are listening to my podcast, you can definitely send me an email about your thoughts around that, and or on Instagram. I'll be very, very happy. So I'll be soon channeling new light language transmissions. I'm going to a beautiful place in Mogadouro, north of Portugal. There's a huge portal there. I get to connect with elemental beings like dragons and fairies, and I'm about to channel at least 2 light language transmissions during the week. I'll be there from the 15th to the 20th. And just stay tuned, because I'll be offering them to the public, so you can get them for a very discounted price, and you can also activate them for your children, for yourself, and those are going to be very, very powerful activation. I was already informed that would be amazing new codes being activated while I am there. So, and if you're interested, you can take a look at the light language transmissions that I already have on my website, the work that I do with Marta Cunha. There are lots of beautiful things there, activations, coaching for you. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Sending infinite blessings to you, beautiful people. Bye.